Okay, let's get going. The first thing I ever do is put on my lip stain. I know that may seem weird and out of sync, but I want it to dry completely before I put my lipstick on and any sort of lip liners at the end. And a couple of times here and there, I will put another coat of lip stain on and make sure it dries, but I'm not going to bore you by showing you that all the time. Definitely want to smooth it in over your lips so that the color coats your lips completely. And let this dry. I use Stiff Upper Lip by Unique, and the color on this one is Saucy. It's a nice deep brick red color. The second step that I always do is use a primer, but with the glorious eye and face primer by Unique, I don't need to use a lot, just a little bit, and smooth it in. It's very smooth, very slick, and very nourishing to the skin, and it actually just feels like silk going on to me. If you have oily skin, you can still use this. Just remember not to use a whole lot. Next, I'm trying a new thing. I'm using NYX Dark Circle Concealer. As you can see, and as you probably know, I have these dark circles under my eyes. So under both eyes, I'm going to use my ring finger and take a little of the product and tap it onto the spots where you see the dark circles. You want to tap it and kind of press it in rather than rubbing it in at first, because that will just smear the product off. Ring finger is the gentlest finger for patting product on. And I do put a little bit of this on my eyes, and then I kind of blend it in a little bit. I have dark colored eyelid. The mobile part of my eyelids are actually kind of dark colored as well. So this helps to smooth it out. Plus cover over, my goodness, I'm having trouble talking tonight. Cover over some of that darkness on my lids. Now the next thing I'm going to do, I've also got some puppies who are getting restless. Sorry about that. Next thing I'm going to do is use a lip pencil and just take some of that NYX concealer and tap it into the specific dark lined area where the darkness is the most concentrated. The dark circles under your eyes are usually, a deep gray, purple, bluish color. So the salmony orange color in the NYX product and other skin color perfecting products should help to mask that when you put the rest of your products on. And as you can see, I'm just kind of starting at the corner of my eye and out and pressing that in with that little lip pencil and just gently kind of making sure it gets into the little cracks and crevices there.
Okay.
This is only the second or third time I've used this product, and it seems to work pretty well. I need to work with it a little bit more. But it's honestly inexpensive. It's like $5 at Target or Walmart. I don't know, Walmart may carry it, I'm not sure, but Target does. And then I'm going to spread it on my entire eye area, my mobile lid, and of course the upper eye, just to even out some coloration and give a nice creamy base for when I put my eyeshadows on. And it'll have a little bit of time to dry before I put the shadows on. And next I'm using the Mineral Touch Concealer from Unique, and I'm just dotting this on in the shape of that V. Okay, and dotting and pressing helps make sure that it finds its way into those little wrinkles and helps to conceal them as well. Concealer is different in foundation. The formulas are different. They're meant to go under the eye and on specific little trouble areas. It's a thicker formulation, and so it should not give you the cakey look, or it should fill in your any fine lines or wrinkles before you actually use your foundation. And I press it on, and then I'm going to use the Beauty Blender and kind of press it in a little bit more. Okay, rubbing it in will just rub the product away. I have to fight very hard not to wipe it on or rub it in because I'm impatient. But a beauty blender, a good beauty blender like the blending buds that I'm using, and I'm actually using it dry instead of wet, will help press it into the skin and even it out and blend it in. See, and then the corner, well, the point of the Beauty Blender is good for getting into the tear duct area of your eye or around your nose, into those little areas that are sometimes difficult to fully conceal. I'm going back to my NYX because I forgot to put some in that little indent there on the bridge of my nose. Again, I have no idea. I hit something and I'm not entirely sure. It was a table or something, and that indent has been there for a few years now. And I'm just filling in that dark spot. Sorry you can't see that. I'm just kind of making sure that the coverage is good and somewhat blended under my eyes as well. And next, here, I'm going to use a little bit of that concealer again to go over top of that. And I'm just going to gently press it into that spot and then blend it a little bit. And I know that some people are like grossed out because you're pressing the makeup product into your pores, but number one, my face has been cleansed and moisturized. Hopefully yours has too. And I used a primer, which that helps to get into the pores and block some of this extra makeup from getting into your skin more. Additionally, the products I'm using on my face are mineral based. So they use natural products that help to prevent some of the skin sensitivities. Oh, gotta cover a little bit of that red nose in the corners. And the products are going to end up in your pores somewhat anyway, to be honest. That's why you clean it off at night. It's really important to clean your face at night. I know, I'm completely guilty of going to bed with my makeup on. Now it's time for that foundation. And this is Unique's Liquid Touch Foundation. It's a mineral foundation. This is the color Velour. If you have any problems getting the right color, let me know. I can help you out with some color matching. There are several ways you can apply your foundation. I'm just opting to use my fingers and press it in. You can use a beauty blender or you can use a liquid foundation brush. But the first step, you want to press it and pat it versus rubbing it like I'm doing right there. Because again, you want to press it in so that it gets pressed into the skin and stays for you all day. This is how you're going to get that flawless finish. Just doing the cheeks, chin, bridge of the nose, my nose, patting it as I go, trying very hard not to get impatient and just rub it on like I would a lotion. There I go, rubbing it on. Impatient me. but I have patted it into those areas first initially, so now I'm just kind of blending it. And those areas that I had little dots down there on my chin where I put concealer, I wanted to cover those a little bit, pat some foundation on, and then just kind of blend it in. Really not using a lot. And the nice thing about this particular foundation is that it does go on liquid, and then it dries to a soft, silky, powdery finish. It does not end up looking cakey. So now I am actually going to take my foundation brush, and this brush is specifically formulated for use with liquid foundations, and I'm going to blend it in all around my face. If you're going to use a foundation brush, it is a good idea to use the one formulated for what style foundation you're using, whether it's cream, liquid, or powder. This brush here is made so that the bristles kind of suck in the liquid and then buff it into your skin. So that's actually what I'm doing with this brush. It's very dense, very soft, and it's just made to perfectly buff it into your skin and blend really well. There you go. Okay, next I'm going to start working on these crazy brows. They give me so much trouble, and you'll see me, I work on them throughout this whole video off and on.
Oh yeah?
I'm going to start out by using actually a mineral pigment eyeshadow. This one is by Unique, and it's in the color Confident. And I've done the other eye. You couldn't see it anyway because I was in a bad angle with the camera.
Okay.
And I'm just using this little angled brush to lightly color the brow area so that some of that tint gets underneath the brows. And this color really matches my hair very well. So if you have like a medium brownish to darkish brownish hair, Confident would be a really good color. And then we're going to start with the brow kit. I'm using the medium shade liner. First I'm going to grab the spoolie and just kind of brush those brows some, tame them down a little bit. And you'll see that on this particular brow, it gave me trouble all day. I was just a little messy with it. And I have a dark area under the brow on that one anyway, but I'll fix that later. So I'm just brushing them into place. Now I am going to take the liner side of the liner pencil, and starting just about 1/4 of an inch in, I draw the line underneath the brow up to the arch, and then I do the same thing on the top, and I try to stay very close to the hairs because I'm not trying to draw an unnatural looking larger brow than what I have there. I can't really help it on the outside corner of this brow because you see how empty it is. I just have next to no brow there. Okay, and then I'm going to fill in the brows and the empty spots on both brows with the liner. Oh, hi Alex! Look at that baby. He came to help me. He kept trying to tell me how to do it right. Now we're going to move on to the gel from the brow kit. And again, I'm using medium. And you just want to twirl it around inside there to loosen the fibers. There are fibers on inside there mixed with the gel. Can't see it too well, but arch the inside of the brow up to the arch, and then from the arch out. And the fibers will stick to any hairs that are there and add a more natural look to your brow. And also the gel helps to keep them in place. The brushing keeps them a little bit tamed. And the gel has... Hi Alex, come Give
Love
Mama
you.
kisses.
Love you.
Love you too,
Yeah.
sweet boy. Thank you.
Oh, baby.
Jill
Oh, you're knocking my
actually
stuff off on me.
adds some vitamins and proteins to the brows that are going to help them grow some and increase their health. I'm going back to my NYX, and because that brow line just irritated me so much, I wanted to put a little there, and I have a darker discoloration under that brow anyway, so I smooth a little bit of that on under and over that brow. I didn't do it to the other side. Kind of irritated with my brows there, clearly. Still filling it in. Still not happy with it.
You'll do what? Okay.
Woo. I was having a conversation there with somebody.
As long as I get
Something to
today.
do with car
Make sure
insurance
I
or
don't know
some
what kind of-
useless
I may have to get some
information
bugs,
like that.
especially for
Who
Sasha.
knows?
Yeah, definitely.
I may end up with crickets.
That's not
Okay.
bad either. You change
They're
it.
starting to look a little
I think
better.
No problem.
That one's just still
Yeah.
unruly. I'm going to go actually have them done professionally, and when I do that, maybe I'll just film the whole thing and we can learn from it together. So now I've decided to let the brow problem go, but it's looking better. And I'm going to move on to lining my eyes. I use 3 different eyeliners. They are all from Unique. The first one is Pristine in white. The second is Perfect, which is black. And then finally I'm going to use the liquid eyeliner, felt tip eyeliner, in the color Powerful, which is a gray color. It'll give you a variation from a very light gray to a darker charcoal gray, depending on the angle of the pencil when you apply it. Yeah, got it on my finger. So I'm going to start with white, Pristine. And I'm going to actually apply this on the bottom waterline, starting at the tear duct and moving to about 3/4 of the way out. Okay? The white eyeliner in your bottom waterline, and I'll come down. She has something to say about this. Actually helps give you a wider appearance to your eyes, to anyone who's looking at you. If you have little smaller eyes like I do that seem kind of closed off, this is one little tip that's going to help you out. Additionally, because I have hooded eyes, anyone with hooded eyes, which means that the top part of your eye covers your mobile lid, or the part of the lid that moves, so you can't really see that mobile lid very well. You don't want to go too heavy on the bottom lash line, even when you're doing a smoky look. Here we're going to use black, and we're going to do just that outer little corner on both eyes, and then we're going to tight line. Yeah, buddy, we're going to tight line these eyes, and I'll explain that here in a minute. But you want to keep that bottom line kind of light. If you have any kind of problem where your eyes droop or point down, like mine, the outer corners point down also, then again, you don't want to go too heavy on the lower line. The more you age, you want to lighten up how heavy you go on the bottom line, and if you have crepey,
do me a
dry
favor?
skin.
What's that?
Oh, there we go.
Can you
More
see if this
conversations.
light will come this way a little bit? Towards me on my face. Just kind of turn it and
Can't
maybe...
even see it over there.
Huh?
Can't,
We
there's
are
no light
going
down
to
there.
add a little
Yeah.
color to the bottom
Okay,
lash
thanks.
line. But
I
we're
mean,
just
it
not
does
gonna
give
go
a
too heavy with
little
it.
bit of light, but just for this. There, that does.
That does?
That lightens
Okay, it
up this
looks like
side, yes.
we're
Thank you.
Okay.
done talking about the
It makes
light
my
that was
videos
shining in my eye
difficult.
up there, and we're going to
Yeah.
tight line.
It just
What
seemed
this
kinda like it
means
was too
is,
wide,
yes,
but
I want to have the black liner as a base for my lashes because they're going to be coated in black mascara. But again, having very low visibility on my mobile lid means I don't want to put a heavy liner on the lid itself. because that just reduces the amount of that lid that anyone's going to be able to see. And that means that it's going to look heavier. It's going to close my eye off and make my eye look smaller. And I don't need that. I already have small enough eyes. Hi, Alex. Yes, I do my makeup in the midst of people wandering around, lots of conversations. See the difference there? One line, tight line, one not. You get a definition to your eye without making it too heavy on the mobile lid. Now we're just going to do that other eye. Again, it goes on what you would call the waterline of your top lash line. Use your pinky or your ring finger to anchor your hand to give you more stability. And just gently line that eye. Now when you do this, you want to use a pencil liner and a soft pencil liner at that. You don't want one of those hard ones that you have to take a lighter to. They smudge too easily and they get chunks in your eyes, trust me. But these liners are so amazing. They're nice, they're soft, they're easy to work with, and they're smudge proof. Once you get it on, it's not going anywhere. And I've cried like a baby in these liners and they've not smudged. I have very dry eyes, excuse me. So I have to use eye drops during the day. These eyeliners don't go anywhere. And you see you get the definition there without putting a heavy line on the top. Now it's time for that pretty liquid liner in gray. This one is called Powerful. Yes, I wanted to be able to define my eyes with a liner, but I didn't need another black heavy liner. So I'm going to put a little bit underneath, and the liquid liner does not go on your waterline. You want it to go above the waterline or below it on the lower lid. And here I'm just using the tip and lightly feathering the liner kind of through the lashes. And I'm making sure not to hit the waterline with it. You'll see it better on my other eye. But I love this gray color because it still gives some definition that you can't see very well in the video. But in person, it really does give nice definition. And it's such a pretty color. Now, if I were to lay this felt tip to where it was gliding on my eye using the side, and I can show you that in a different video, it would make the color darker charcoal gray. And I just wanted you to see that a little bit does show up, but I need more. And you can build this color just by going back in and doing the same thing, using the tip because I still want the lighter color application, and just gently applying that above my lashes. One of these days I do intend to get a proper natural light so that you can see things without the yellow light bulb color. And then the other thing I'm going to do is go ahead and bring this all the way below my bottom waterline. Now it's going below the lashes. And I take this into the tear duct area. You see it gives a nice soft gray smoky line there. If I do it to the right eye, I have to do it to the left eye too, right? Sorry, my throat is really dry and I didn't bring a drink out with me. I have like a sip left here. So now you can see a little bit better that I am going above the lashes and just using the tip and feathering that on to the lid. And it's okay really if it smudges a little because we're going to use eyeshadows that will blend any smudgies or mistakes away. There's my little guy giving me more tips. And again, starting at the wing there. Gonna line under the waterline. And I did not want to use a heavy wing. With hooded eyes, getting a winged eyeliner out to the corner edge of your eye is a difficult task to achieve. And I think it's a little too harsh for this look. So I really didn't want any crazy wings going on there. A little bit of a flip up, but very little. I'm just kind of blending that. Now, the smudge that I get on the side of my face is easy enough to fix, and I will fix that later. But see, it's very light, but it still gives that definition to the eye that I want. And you can take your time with this particular step. I don't see very well, so I have to take it kind of slow. There we go, just a little definition to the eyes. Next we're going to move on to the eyeshadow. And we're going to use 3 different eyeshadow products. The first one is by Hard Candy. This is a $6 palette you can get at Walmart. Had the pretty purple colors in it. And then this one, of course, is the Moodstruck Addiction Shadow Palette number 3 from Unique, my favorite. I use it all the time. The colors in it are going to be more pigmented than the Hard Candy one. And then here, the Holy Grail of eyeshadows by Urban Decay. There's that sparkle. This one is called Moonspun. And it's this pretty gray color with all that amazing sparkle in it. We're going to use this to break the rules. And just because I love it. Yeah. Okay. Just because I love it, I had to show you that again. So these are really the only tools, aside from that little lip liner tool, that I'm going to use. A lot of makeup videos use 20 or 30 different brushes, and it just gets overwhelming. So I'm going to use 3. They're all from one company. They're all from Unique. Here's the crease brush. Just wanted you to see that. It is different from the others. Okay guys, I took a minute to go grab some hot tea, so hopefully that helps with this scratchy throat here. I used a product here that I'll show you more in depth later on in the video, but it's a highlighter and it's one of my favorite things. I'm just highlighting with this soft peach lights color. First of all, a little bit more concentrated right under the brow, the arch of the brow, and then just a light fluffy dusting over the rest of my eye. This gives a nice powder base because I am getting ready to use the eyeshadows. Alright, so we are going to start out with that Hard Candy palette. It's called Smoked Out. And we're going to start by laying the foundation for our blending. So the very first step we're going to do is we're going to go to the lightest gray in the palette. It's all the way on the end there. And I'm going to load up this fluffy deluxe brush, and we're just going to gently take that above my natural crease. This is what you do when you have a hooded eye or very droopy eyes, where your top lid kind of covers up your mobile lid. The deepening of this color is going to draw the attention up, okay, instead of putting the attention on that actual real crease. The darker color, of course, causes the appearance that that part of your eye is receding more, and that's the appearance that we want to create. And we just start with the lightest color to start building and blending. Now I'm breaking the rules from the get-go here, because if you have hooded eyes or more mature crepey skin with wrinkles, you want to use a matte shadow. Let me just make that as a disclaimer. You should use a matte shadow. I'm not doing that. Next, I'm going to go with the next lightest gray, and we're going to use the same fluffy deluxe brush and go in the same area, but just a smidge lower. Okay, and this is going to start to build the color up. Now this hard candy palette, it's a nice palette. It's got some really nice colors, but it's less pigmented. So the color is not as highly concentrated as it is in, say, the Moodstruck or the Urban Decay, or some of your other higher end $50, $60 palettes. There's a reason for that. But this is very good in this case because I want lighter pigments to use to start building up my colors. We're always going to take time to blend, but first I want to concentrate the color towards the outside and that outer V area. I'm going to draw it down on the lid a little bit and fluff it up. So now we're just kind of gently blending those two together, very gently. Okay, we're going to keep building, and we're going to go to the next darker color. Oops, there it is. There it is. I start at the outer corner there because that's when you have the most pigment on the brush, and that's where you want the most pigment to go. Same thing over here. We're going to start at that outer corner, build the pigment up, and it's in a little bit lower but still above my natural crease, and a little bit more concentrated rather than fluffed out. Now we are going to use that gray on the crease brush. The crease brush will pull the powder into it a little bit more, and you want to kind of swirl the tip and swirl it around. Those bristles are designed to pull the powder into the brush, so you want to tap the excess off, and it will buff that color into your eye. Okay, and this is the darker color that we want to put on in circles in a more concentrated area, just above the crease. And you see I'm keeping that darker shade towards the outer edge. I'll fix that a little bit later. I'm bringing that down onto the outer edge of the mobile lid. Same thing on the other side here in a second, but I just want you to see that you do bring it in a little towards the inner eye, but not as much. The color stays concentrated towards the outside. That draws the attention towards the outside and up. And if your eyes are narrow, you know, the bridge of your nose, the inner corner of your eyes are narrow, you definitely want to pull the eyes' attention towards the outer corner a little bit more. So you see it the gradation of the color goes in towards the eye is lighter. And we just kind of buff that into the outer edge. Little bitty circles. And we're just going to gently, gently blend using the big fluffy brush with either no powder on it, or you could use a little bit of the lightest shade, but I tend to use it with no powder. Just a very, very light touch to blend. Because yes, we want the colors blended together, but we don't want to lose all the gradation that we've created there. Now we're going to move on to the most difficult part of any cut crease. This is technically a cut crease, but it's a very soft, well-blended one. If you look up cut crease, you're going to see some very sharp images, but this one is soft. But I still do want to use the cut crease technique because it creates the illusion of having that higher crease that you need with the hooded eye. And we're going to use black. You can use any matte black shade that you have. I'm using the one from the Hard Candy palette. And we're going to draw little dots. And then we're going to play connect the dots. I'm using my lip liner pencil again because I don't have a little detailer brush. Using my lip pencil brush. And I'm going to draw a little dot under the arch of my eye. Bink. And don't worry if it's smudgy. And draw another little dot, and another little dot. And I check to make sure that when I open my eyes, I can see those dots above the mobile lid. You see how I can still see those dots above the mobile lid when my eyes open. Now I'm going to connect those dots very gently. You can take as much time as you want with this. Take it kind of slow. I don't go all the way to the inner corner of my eye because I'm not going for that old twiggy look. I don't spend a whole lot of time laboring this just because I know it's going to get blended in. And at the same time, my sugar was really dropping when I was hitting this part, so I started seeing funky colors and getting a little dizzy. And you'll see the effect of that when I do my other eye. Because I go a little crazy with it, I don't take as much time and I have to use the other mirror. I'm pretty much seeing what looks like floating, flying, saucery lights at this point. Draw my dots, and when I look at you straight on, you're going to see how I messed up. Draw the dots, connect the dots. I did it too quick. And see how sharp that edge is? It's a little bit sharper than I wanted. But it's okay. Check at that mistake. Woo-wee! That one's way up there. I noticed that and I thought, oh my. So I tried to pull this one out just a little bit. Just bring it out a little bit to even it up with the other side, and then soften this outer corner on this one a little bit. But when I tell you silly little mistakes like this don't matter, it really is true because they're going to get blended in. It's going to get blended in really well. I'm gonna rock it. Looks like I'm going for the cat eye there, doesn't it? I'm gonna go back to that light gray that you see there. And not that that gave you any idea of what I was doing. I'm using that liner side of the liner shader brush, and I'm going with the lightest gray. And I'm going to draw this on. There you go. Now you can see it. I'm going to draw this on lay down, right above that black cut crease. Okay, I'm just going to layer that right above that black line that we drew. It's a little hard to see that here on the video, but trust me, it is there, and it is going to make a difference. So then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to blend that. I'm going to take my shader side from the liner shader brush, and I'm going to start gently blending the black into the grays. So you're still going to have that definition that the black created, but it's not going to be that hard line that you saw a minute ago. That's why the mistake that I made really doesn't matter that much. Like I said, you definitely probably want to take more time with it than I did. But then again, if you don't, and you don't have as much time, and you certainly don't want to go in and fix it all now that you've gotten this far, it's not that big a deal because it's going to be blended in really well. Now I do still use a light touch when blending, and I always check to see that my color is showing up above my mobile lid when I open my eye really wide. Blending, 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 always blending, blending. This soft look really relies on the fact that you just blend. If you want a harsher look, blend less and be a little bit more precise with your lining. I have puppies that are crying and waking up, as you can hear probably. Okay, that edge there, it's going to get cleaned up. So why worry about it there, I don't know. There's no reason to, because there's a little cleanup trick that I use. So here I'm going to start on the outer edge and just start blending the black into the gray to create that kind of watercolor gradation look. And you can see just how crepey my eyes are from, I guess, old age, and they're just, I've always had the hooded eyes, but of course it's gotten worse as I've aged. It's going to start to lose elasticity, and also after losing 100 pounds, definitely lost a little bit of elasticity in my face. But regardless of that crepey skin, I'm still able to do a blended look. It just means using a soft hand with a nice soft blending brush and taking your time.
What?
Just gonna ask if you have $3.
And also using really good quality pigments helps. That addiction palette
I don't have any cash.
that I use here in just a
My
minute
card might still be
is
working.
amazing quality. So it really helps a lot with that. But even this little hard candy $6 palette works pretty well.
My card expires this month.
Okay, I am back from a little puppy cleaning break to finish this up. We're still just blending that dark light gray into the black. Almost finished with that.
It expired the 16th.
No, the 16th is the year.
Oh.
April 2016 is when it expires.
I'm retarded.
No, not really.
It's already got a little shimmer and shine to it, which is
Let's see what I
breaking the
can do.
rules. So now we're going to apply purple from the Moodstruck Addiction 3 palette by Unique. I'm going to start with that matte purple there. The lighter one, it's Determined, and then we're going to go to Flippant after that. This I'm going to apply to the mobile lid mostly, and just bring it up very lightly onto the upper lid. Now this is a matte color, so if you wanted to stay matte and subtle, this would be a good place to stop after you use these two purples. So I'm just bringing it up a little bit onto the upper lid, just so that it flows nicely. And again, on the other eye, mobile lid, bringing it up into the upper lid a little bit. And then we're going to add a layer of flippant. It's a little bit darker matte purple right on top of that. And this just gives it a little bit of a different color on the lid. I could have gone with gray. I like to give a little bit of something of interest there, a little bit of shimmer. So again, I'm going to break the rules. However, applying just a tad bit of shimmer or sparkle to the lid ensures that your eyelid, the mobile part, catches somebody's eye. So I'm still just making sure it's blended nicely. Again, this is a soft look, blend, blend, blend. You can overblend. That's why I use a very light hand with this and a very light brush. Very soft, full brush. Yes, here we go. Two of my favorite products. This one is Makeup Revolution's Vivid Baked Highlighter. This one is in the color Peach Lights. It's got a very nice shimmer to it and glow. However, it is a much softer one than the other one I'm going to use. I don't know if you can see real well that this shimmers, but it does. And I use both of the highlighters together using my soft brush, a little soft, fluffy deluxe brush. I'm going to start by putting this all over the lid and bringing it up to the all over the mobile part of my lid, and then bringing it up into the upper part of my lid just a bit. This is going to lay more of a base shimmer, and it's not really going to cover that color of purple. It's just going to add a little shimmer to it, and it does add a little tiny peachiness to it, but very little. Super subtle. And then I'm going to move on to this one. This is also Makeup Revolution Vivid Baked Highlighter in the color Golden Lights. Now this one has a very definite shimmer and glow to it. You don't need very much powder from this one, and it just makes a more targeted highlight. So I'm actually using the liner part of my brush. And you can see I don't get a whole lot of powder on there. It almost sometimes looks like there's nothing there. But trust me, when you put it on, it gives a very dramatic look. You see how much that, and even going over top of the other colors, it really shows up. And I'm just going to draw this funky little angle here. Gives a little bit of interest there, and it won't be that sharp because, as you know, I blend, blend, blend. Now if you just wanted either no shimmer there or just a tiny shimmer, you could stop with the peach and it would look amazing. I tend to like a little more drama, so I'm adding this more intense highlighter. Like I said, I like a little more drama. I'm going to add more. You hardly need any of this. And here's the good news. These little suckers are $5 a piece, or $6 a piece at Ulta. You can go online to ulta.com, or you can, if you're local, there's one up across from the Fairfield Commons Mall there in Beaver Creek. It's over close to, there's a party warehouse place there, behind the Family Christian Bookstore. Ulta's a really fun place to go to if you like makeup, or a deadly one. That's where I'm probably going to go. I'm either going to go there and get my brows done, or I'm going to see the girl, well, actually she's the wife now of one of Brandon's friends, who is a professional makeup artist. She actually does eye waxing for 15 bucks. So I'm going to go see her. Maybe we'll film it. Get some expert tips going. Now I'm applying a little bit of that highlighter up at the top under my brows. Remember that lightness under the brow gives it a lift. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to work on the bottom lid. And remember, I just want this to have a little bit of color, so I'm going to start with that light purple, and I'm going to use my liner part of the liner shader brush, and I'm going to come right down under where I put the gray earlier, and just put a touch of color there. This is going to help balance it out with the top, but I'm not going to go overboard. And by the way, if you go to Ulta or Sephora, either online or in person, make sure you sign up for their little shopper's card. You know, it's like in a Kroger's card or whatever, because you earn points. And who doesn't want to earn points towards free stuff if you're going to be shopping there anyway? Now I'm going to blend that out just a little bit, just giving a very soft smoke to that. And then next, what I'm going to do is actually switch to the Cheeky, that dark shimmery purple, and I'm going to use a very small line of this. Just a very small line underneath all that. Very light touch. And give it a little blend. So you still have some interest and some definition and balance on the bottom lid, but it's not overpowering. It's not going to draw the attention of the eye completely down when someone's looking at you. So you still have the lifted effect from the highlighters. And there we go. Now we're going to have some fun with the Urban Decay Moonspun. Yeah, you can see that it glitters, but you can't really see it well enough to make me happy. So we're going to shine a little light on it. If you can't see the glitter in that stuff there, I don't know what to tell you. See, you have a little shimmer already. And you could stop here if that's all you wanted, was a little bit of shimmer. I personally am never happy with just a little bit of shimmer. Now, with the best of intentions, I start out using the liner, part of my liner shader brush, and just tapping it into the eyeshadow. Just tap, just a little tiny bit. Good intentions here to do this very light and very subtle. We'll see how it goes. Now, incidentally, if you go to Ulta and you want to pick up some of these Urban Decay eyeshadow pots, they are $21 a piece. I got mine as an early birthday gift, so no, I wasn't running out and spending $21 on a single eyeshadow, but I can tell you they're worth it. They're beautiful, they're well made, they're high quality pigments. Now see here, just a little light touch, little bit of glimmer, and it's that beautiful moonspun color that fits right in with the category I'm working with, these grays and purple. Obviously it would work well with black. And if you use any other colors like, you know, purples, blues, greens, whatever, it's going to work well with that. This color in particular may or may not work well with browns or nudes. Yep. Don't know, haven't tried it. But I'll try just about anything once. Alright, so we're going to break out that shader side of the brush and bring it up onto the top. Breaking the rules here. This should be a matte color. So absolutely, if you want to follow the rules, and there's no reason not to, go ahead and use your matte colors. And you don't even have to use these same palettes or colors. As long as you have one that has a gradation in color that, you know, starts with a lighter, if you're going to go with tan, starts with a lighter creamish tan color, and then, you know, goes to a deeper color and a deeper color. You want at least 3. I used 4, but you would need at least 3 different colors to get this effect. And then, of course, your black. So yeah, clearly I added a little more shimmer from that Urban Decay than I had originally planned to do. Ooh, shimmer. I can't help it. I'm in love with that eyeshadow. Now I'm going to torture myself, but I'm going to do it very quickly for you. It took me like 45 minutes. Using this Sonia Kashuk eyelash and brow comb number 14. Trust me, I do all of my lashes, but I'm really only going to torture you with the one quick little snippet. My lashes are completely unruly like my brows. They're rebellious little suckers, so I have to break out the torture device. This is a metal tined lash straightener or comb. You don't want to get those metal pieces into your eyeball. Trust me, I've done it numerous times. If you hold it against your face, you should be okay. Now, my unique mascara is on order. So what I'm using is this Maybelline Falsies Volumizing. And you can see the brush has fairly good, dense bristles, intended to go ahead and grab every lash. I'm also not going to bore you in this one with overdoing it with the lashes, because we can do an actual tutorial, but you want to get into the base and squiggle and press your lash down as you move the comb up. I've done all my lashes, and moving on to the lips here, I'm using Pompous Lip Liner. Just kind of anchor my hand using either the pinky or the ring finger down there on the chin and line my lips. Now remember, this lip liner is amazing. It's nice and soft. It goes on easy and smooth. You can use it to fill your lips in completely if you want to use it as a lipstick. It's smudge proof, so once you have it on, it's not going anywhere. I'm just going to line the outer corners. It's good to use a lip liner. I used to despise using lip liners. I thought it just made my lips look way too big and too full. But now I kind of swear by them, because anytime I take pictures, I notice the edges of my lips being very rough and just not polished. There it is. Pompous is kind of this raspberry color. It's going to go with any of your deeper reds. I only have 2 lip liners, Pompous and Pouty. Pouty works really well with any of your softer, pinker, and nude colors. Now after this, I'm going to actually apply a lipstick from Mary Kay. I can get the color information for you. I don't have it offhand, and I couldn't read the bottom of the little lipstick tube at the time. And yes, I am using a Mary Kay product. I have a few of those around here. But I absolutely adore this lipstick. The color is beautiful. You just... I doubt you can see that whatever that says, but I'll get the information and post it later. To get this one out of the tube, it was tricky for me at first. But then I learned you just pop it and then it comes loose. But check out this color. It's so super pretty. It is shimmery. And again, I'm breaking my rule. When I do more dramatic eyes, I generally do a lighter lip. But here I'm just doing a darker lip with my dark eyes. And you have to see this color. It's so super pretty. The only thing about Mary Kay, this lipstick in particular, is it wears off quick. Whereas our Unique lipsticks really are long lasting. But both are very soft and moisturizing and very beautiful. And this one does have a nice shimmer to it. Just love this color. I think it would be pretty on just about anybody. Alright, we're going to finish up our face, starting with Beachfront Bronzer from Unique. I am using the color Sunset. It's the lightest color that they make for the bronzers. There are two darker ones. Each one has two different shades in them. I tend to mix the two. I don't know what brush this is from. I think it's a Bare Minerals brush, but it's a little bit thinner. I need to get an angled brush, actually. It's a blush brush, I know that, so it works. Now this part doesn't really matter on me, but for anybody who doesn't wear wigs, you want to start at the top of your, right there at your hairline.
Yeah, anything in there you want to clean, go ahead, including the microwave area.
A little bit and swirl around the face. And I'm actually going to draw all the way around, down the jawline, and smooth it out just a little, not a lot. Same on the other side, and the chin. Just a little. I don't want a whole lot of dark colors. You can clearly customize it and go darker if you want. If you have any problems with double chins or sagging chins or skin there, just brush a little bit along the bottom there underneath on your chin. For my contour, I do a very light contour. Start there at the back where the sucky face ends by my ear, and draw a light line down to the corner so that it's in line with the corner of my mouth. And I do a very thin version of that. Now I'm going to use the bronzer to contour my nose, and I actually like my nose. I don't really think it's too fat or too bulbous or funny looking, but I do add a little bit of light contour starting at the corner there of my eyebrow and coming all the way straight down the side of my nose, and even that little, I don't know what that's called. Yeah, just a light touch for this.
Just
if
talk
you think
to
your
him.
nose is too wide, make it a little darker. Just at the tip there, and then also, if you have one of those bumps on your noses that you want to
That's all
mask,
he's doing,
you can
is
just put a
talking to
little
you.
right on it across like that.
It's just in a voice you don't like.
Now, I personally am not a big blush user because I grew up having such red cheeks and red skin tone. And that's toned down a lot as I've grown, but I'm still averse to wearing too much on myself. So I'm using this pretty pink color from Femme Couture, and I'm just dabbing it on the apples, just dabbing a very light touch up to the temples, along the top, along that jawbone area there. Not jawbone, cheekbone. Just a light touch and a nice light pink. And this will get blended in. Here we go. My favorite part of my makeup routine, aside from lipstick, because I love lipstick, it's the highlighters. Okay, there they are. I'm going to start with the Peach Lights because it's the more subtle of the two. I use this more liberally to create more of a base area for my shine. See that shimmer? Peach Lights, very beautiful color. Gives a very beautiful subtle glow. And then there's the Golden Lights. hopefully you can see the shimmer in that. This one gives you a more intense, dramatic glow. Now I'm still going to keep it subtle for this, but maybe a little bit more dramatic than some would prefer. So you can actually stop here, or you can use a little concealer or powder to create some highlights. You can just do the peach highlights, which is where I'm going to start. I'm going to use my little brush here and come straight down the nose, the tip of the nose. And the idea of highlighting is, number one, to make anything a little bit shiny where the sun or the lights would actually hit you, and to highlight areas that you want to draw attention to. So light is naturally going to hit above the nose there and above the brows. Light would naturally hit the cheekbone right there. And you see I'm a little bit more liberal. I put more of this product on. You can see it just gives a very faint, pretty glow. And I'm going to touch the inner corner tear duct area of my eyes. That just helps give a little bit of a wider look to my eyes. Although I don't really need it, to be honest. I'm just doing it for the extra shimmer. At least I don't think I need it. I might. Then we're going to highlight the Cupid's bow just above your lip, and just a little bit on the chin. And then down there, below your cheeks, below where you contoured with the bronzer. We're going to hit the other side, highlight in the same places. Hit that cheekbone, and I'm going to show you. See the inside corner of your eye? That's where you start, and then you go to where the outside corner of your eye. And you can see it put a little bit of peachiness right there, and it's going to get blended in. A little bit under my eye there because it's just dark and bugging me. And then back again underneath where we bronzed earlier for contouring. Take my big fluffy brush from Bare Minerals. I think it's just a fluffy blush brush. Blend, blend, blend. With a very light hand, by the way, because I don't want to blend everything away and everything together. I just want to soften things together. Oh, those rings. So, here we go. We're going to intensify the highlight using golden lights. Now notice that I'm going to concentrate the highlights using this one much more in those areas where I want it to go. So I'm not going to be as liberal with it. Okay, straight down the nose, using a very light touch. Notice how light I'm touching the face there. And we're going to do, again, just because I want the shimmer, going to do the tear duct area. I just love that shimmer. What can I say? To this side, you'll be able to see it a little bit better here. Just a little bit on that dark area. I need to perfect this dark circle thing because that is really a major problem for me. And we're going to concentrate it on the cheekbone. Just a smaller line. That peach highlight base is still going to peek out and give a little bit of translucent color. At the temple area, just a little bit. Just a dab above the bridge of my nose and the other cheekbone. And tap, tap, tap. Yes, my puppies are out there tearing things up. That's what puppies do. So we're just going over a little bit more of those areas with very little powder on the brush. Very little powder. Because I'm still trying to keep this subtle for you guys. Just a dab on the chin, and there, the Cupid's bow. Okay, and we're gonna blend that out just a little bit. But first I need to shimmer that up a little bit more. And for whatever reason at that time, I guess I felt like you needed to see the tip of my nose. Drama, drama, drama. I like drama on my face, but not in my life. Here we go, ready to do a very soft touch on the blending because we want the highlights to still be concentrated in those areas where we put them. You don't want highlighter all over your face. Just a little blend, blend, blend. Very subtle changes in the colors on the side of my face. I don't do a whole lot of contouring. And there we go. There it is. So here you go. Here's the basically the finished look. I wanted to shine a little bit of light. You see that highlighter? It does show up really nice in person. Something bothering me there about my eyelashes. But this all shows up so much better in person than it does on camera. I did get all my lashes done. I considered trying false lashes, but I haven't gotten that far yet. You see all that shimmer and the highlight. It was pretty dramatic. The eyes were pretty dramatic. The rest of the face was still pretty subtle. And look at that pretty lip color. Ooh, that's pretty raspberry color. But you know what this look needs? I think it needs some hair. Now this is my oldest and favoritist wig, Angelique, in the color FS10 or Toffee Syrup by Jean Renault. Well loved, well worn, and I wanted to go for a messy look when I did. Don't use this kind of brush on a wig, by the way. It's all I had handy. So I'm just using it with a very light touch. I wanted a messy look, so I turned it over from the inside and shook it out some before I did this. That's why it looks so messy. Fiddling with the bangs. Maybe they should go this way. Not so much. Maybe they should go back this way. Too much bang on the forehead definitely points to the fact that you're wearing a wig, so you want to show your forehead some. But this one has long bangs anyway, so I'm thinking about getting it trimmed. I'm going to take it to the lady who does actual wigs to get it trimmed. Mess it up, and see how the whole look comes together. And yeah, I spent about another 20 minutes trying to get my bangs to do what I wanted them to. There she be. If you're still watching, you're either really bored, have nothing else to do, or really want to try this look out. I'm hoping you really want to try out this soft kind of edgy look. If you do, please put your pictures in the comments, or send me a picture, or tell us how it went. Thank you so much. Have a great day.